I'm going to have a little bit of trouble because counting to episode 7, episode 8, I'll go.
Oh no. We need to get you like one of those little abacus.
Abacus? What's that?
That was from your generation. You know, you move your little bead across. It is an abacus, isn't it? Or am I just, made up some whole new terminology?
I don't know. But how are you, Jess?
I'm actually not too bad. I am bursting at the seams with excitement. So
yeah, so tell the news. What's the story?
The news is my mum and dad are coming down after 17 months. Trying not to get emotional here, people. I'm trying not to get emotional here. But yes, they are on the plane.
Yeah.
The next big hurdle is whether or not they get through the airport.
Okay, so they're in flight.
They are in flight,
yeah.
And so I've got 3.5 hours to go.
Yep.
And then we've got to have everyone on best behaviours, because then I need my sisters to come down next Friday and Sunday, and then we are all systems go for a wedding.
I tell you what, for those who don't know, Jess is from Darwin, from the Northern Territory, so all the mobs coming down, and they're coming down for Jess's sister's wedding.
Yes.
So and some of you just would know Hannah and John Dundon. So a big shout out to Hannah and John Dundon, who are getting married in March. So yes, congratulations.
Third attempt, thanks to COVID. So,
Third attempt.
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky. Maybe I better have a serious chat with John. But anyway, yes. I think he's long gone now. So, no, good stuff. We wish you as well all the best. And of course, we look forward to seeing you riding and young Reese and that at the trials. So, fantastic. No masks.
No, which is
awesome,
nice, breathable.
Which is awesome, and no fires, so it's fantastic. We haven't got any fires raging around the state.
No, just bring on winter. I'm over this heat.
Yeah, so things are looking up. Another big shout out for those may not know Joe Ryder. Came and had a bit of a coaching session with Neil. I think she's had a couple of little coaching sessions with Neil, and unfortunately, Joe does a little bit of adventure bike riding, and this is not really good advertising for Neil's coaching. Maybe she needs more from Neil. I only had 2 sessions with Neil, and unfortunately, she was out on her adventure bike. I think she's got a 650 of some description on a gravel, and she had a bit of an argument with a tree, and has broken her hip. So she's in rehab at the moment. So big shout out to Joe. We wish you a speedy recovery. We understand you got wheels now, so you got yourself a wheelchair.
Yes, so no wheelies. That could be, oh no, we've got captions on.
Oh no.
This could be wheelie bad.
So all the best to Joe, and I understand she's really living it up with the food and wine and all that. She's getting fed in hospital.
Yeah, she's got, apparently beautiful views, and she can choose her meal and what wine she'll have with dinner, and now
awesome.
She's got the set of wheels. Well, watch out.
And I think she's got 3 months of rehab all up. All there. So all the best, and hopefully that goes fairly quick. So and of course just talking about coaching and training and stuff. Now we're out of the COVID little scare here in WA. Neil's back into action again with coaching. So this weekend coming is the trials coaching up at Mental Falls. A 2-hour session, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Austins, Mental Falls in Tujay. So big shout out to the Austins. How yous going, Wendy, and all the mob? Hope yous are all well. Looking forward to being up there and catching up. So, what do we got for you today? Now, you may notice we're not out in the workshop.
No, we're all clean and tidy today.
Yeah. So, I got plenty of time to drink me coffee. I haven't got any mechanical work to do.
Hold on to your seats, people. This could be a long show.
So what we're going to do today is basically I'm just going to talk your ears off. So basically what we're going to do is a recap of the last 6 shows. Just a brief run over for those.
And you remember the last 6 shows?
No. That's why we're going to do a recap.
Good point.
Try and refresh my memory. But so the plan is to do a recap of the last 6 shows. Now remember, the primary focus of the last 6 shows was the end of season major maintenance servicing. So that's been the focus of the last 6 shows. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work our way through the steps that I would normally do in a major end of season service. So you can have a bit of a think about that. Now you've still got time, because the first trial is not till about March. So you can still get out the shed and do your major servicing.
Oh, we're talking about the guys that like to just hand it in and jam it at the last session.
Yeah.
You're handing in your assignment. You quickly got to put it all together. We'll do a quick shout out. Paul Peacock's just joined us. Thank you for joining. And now I know that my comments are working. Woohoo!
G'day, Paul. How you going, mate? All the best. So catching up with Paul on Wednesday. So we've got a little bit of work to do on the little mini 50 beater. So a bit of prep work for the beginning of the season. And Paul's been enjoying his little sessions with me in the workshop. Yeah. Yeah, so no worries. So so basically when I do a major service on a bike, I effectively start at the front and work my way to the back. So it's nothing better than going forward or reverse or backwards or forwards, whichever way you want to look at it. But I always start at the front, and you just logically work your way through. So basically the first thing is wheel bearings and your forks and your steering head. That's predominantly your front suspension area. Just a tip with wheel bearings: if you're just checking your wheel bearings and they feel fine, when you get the wheel out, you generally can get access to the seals in your wheel bearings. Now all you need is a small screwdriver, and you can just pop the rubber seals out, and you can just fill your wheel bearings up with a little bit of waterproof grease. So it's always good to use the waterproof grease. You don't need to put a lot in there, just put a little bit in there. Now, if you find that you need to replace your wheel bearings, then when you put your new wheel bearings in, do the same thing to the brand new wheel bearings. If you pop the rubber seals out, if you pop both sides out, you'll notice that one side will have a little bit more grease than the other. And when the manufacturers make the wheel bearings, they only put the tiniest amount of grease in the wheel bearings. So if you're fitting new wheel bearings, just pop the seals out, pop a little bit more waterproof grease in there, and then Bob's your auntie, and away you go.
Well, we've had Mark Atherton. I'm really confused as to now which camera I should be looking at. I've got both of them pointing at me. I'm so sorry, people. But yeah, Mark Atherton jumped in saying that last minute maintenance is the way to go. And then I said, is that more your style? And he's like, nah, mine's more halfway through the trial season when I've broken my bike. So
yeah, I'm going to say Mark works on the philosophy of it's best to break something and then put something brand new in.
No, that's not too bad. And Paul Peacock reminded you it's actually both bikes.
Oh, it's both bikes?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
there you go.
Not just one.
I thought I was getting away with it. So yeah, good on you, Paul. So you better message Jess and let me know what else I'm doing. So I've obviously forgotten, which is not like me, is it?
No.
No. So you're checking your wheel bearings. Once you've got your front wheel out, you might as well have a quick look at your front brake pads while you're at it. There. Now, an interesting thing I've just noticed recently, I was just working on a customer's bike, and I've just spotted some cracks in their disc. So while you got your front wheel out, or if you've even got your back wheel out, have a good look at your disc around where the mounting bolts are. Particularly the rear wheel is more susceptible to this. As you're bashing through rocks and stuff, the old rear disc gets a fair whacking at times. And many of people, and Neil's had a few where
fair whacking.
Yeah,
that's
fair
a good
whacking.
Term, a fair whacking.
Yeah, so end up with bent discs.
We might have to save that for merch.
Yeah.
I'll add that to my merch
so
list.
Yeah, have a bit of a check at that one, and of course, whip your forks out. Do your oil change on your forks, as I've given you a little bit of a demo at the last show. And while you got your forks out, that's the time to have a good look at your steering head bearings. And of course you'll be pulling your handlebars off to drop your steering head bearings out. And as I mentioned in the last show, don't forget to check your handlebar clamps, and to check, particularly if you've got the billeted triple clamps, where the clamps mounting points are actually bolted to your triple clamps. So check them, check all that sort of stuff, because you generally, those sorts of things people generally tend not to look at. For those who weren't on the show last time, I remember I had a 2006 Gasser get traded in it, and it had an auxiliary fuel tank sitting over the top of the handlebars, and both of the clamps had cracks through them, and it was only hanging on by 1 point. So it pays you to have a bit of a check of those sorts of things. So once you've worked your way through the front, then the next job I do then is I head to the back, work on all your rear suspension.
You forgot the middle.
Sorry?
You forgot the middle.
No, we come back to the middle.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought you said you had to progress it like from front to back. So
yeah,
like it should go front, middle, then back.
But then we come back over to the middle.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. See, so we're
going. That just sounds like something off bloody yes.
Yeah, well, we're going clockwise. See, so if you're standing on the right hand side of the bike, looking at the bike, we're going clockwise.
Yeah, but you could do maintenance on that side on the middle section, then go to the rear, and then do the maintenance on the other side. But
then if you were standing on the left side of the bike and you went from the front to the back, you'd still be going clockwise, wouldn't you?
I'm getting confused.
Now there's some physics for you. Now is that true?
Oh no, we don't need to get into physics, because me and Neil already have.
And of course
we're renowned for physics.
All the young people wouldn't understand what clockwise is anyway, because they've got digital things.
Well, that is true.
So they got no idea.
So
they got no idea. So
I apologise for the granddad jokes.
Danger. So now we're moving to the back of the bike. You've done all the front servicing, which is fantastic. So now I always go to the back now. Pull your back wheel off again. Wheel bearings. Check your rear brake pads. Have a look at your rear disc. Like I said, for cracks, that's the most prone to copping fractures in the rear.
Paul Peacock's just put up that we do it differently here in the Western Hemisphere. So what are we going back the other way, or which way do we turn?
So Paul, we're not talking about draining your bath, right? Where the water swirls clockwise going down, and in the northern hemisphere it goes anti-clockwise when you drain the bath.
Is that really true?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the magnetic pull between the north and the south pole.
I really don't know whether or not to believe this sort of stuff.
No, it's true.
These days.
It's true. And you think of which way the Earth's spinning, right? When
I know. I had my father tell me one year that they left the lights on at the Wacker to grow the grass, and I believed him.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, you know, I get very sceptical of these things now. I'm like, conspiracy theories.
Now, would I lie to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Deary. So we're on the rear suspension. So you got your rear wheel out. Now, another thing people tend not to spend a lot of time is your chain tensioning arm. Right? Generally, it's pretty hard to get at it when the wheel's on anyway. So when you got your wheel out, check on your chain tensioning arm. Have a look at the bolt that's bolting it on, whether it needs replacing. They can wear quite through. Bit of Loctite to hold it on. Check your chain tensioner block. See whether that's not halfway through. And it's an important piece of little gear that they're only about $25 to replace. But if you don't keep an eye on your chain tensioner bolt, the chain will actually cut through the bolt, and the next minute you've lost your chain tensioner block. Your chain's loose, and then your chain can, if you're unlucky, can double up on the front sprocket, and then on some bikes it'll actually smash the casings. So a $25 chain block and a few new bolts could save you quite a few bucks if you end up doubling up on your front sprocket. There's nothing worse. I've seen a number of times at trials where guys are stuck on the side of the track with the chain all doubled up on the front sprocket, and that's often because they either haven't tensioned their chain regularly, or they've worn through the chain block and it's ripped off completely, and it's all doubled up. Some of the bikes, they will actually smash your clutch slave cylinder there. So, you can end up doing some serious damage in there. So be careful of that. Of course, you're going to whip your swinging arm out, go through all your linkage in your dog bones and all that sort of stuff. And also check for the play in your shock bushes. So in the top and the bottom of your shocks, you've got spherical bushes in there. Now 90% of the time, the top shock bush is fine. It's predominantly more the bottom one that usually gets hammered. So have a look at that, and you can check all that. Grease it all with waterproof grease and get it all ready for the start of the season. So then you're going to work your way back. Now before you get to the motor,
make sure you put your wheel back on.
That's a good idea, Jess. That's a good idea.
Might just be handy.
But in actual fact, it pays if you're going to get serious and you're going to flush all your hydraulics, like we talked about, and service your front brake system, your clutch system, and your rear brake system. While you actually got your rear wheel and your swinging arm and all that out, the rear brake can be a real pain to bleed, because they've basically got an upside down master cylinder the way they're mounted on the frame, and they can be a real nightmare to service and maintain while they're basically on the bike. So it's a good opportunity while you've got all the rear suspension out and everything to take the rear brake system off completely and bring it up onto the bench and do your servicing up on the bench, and then that way you can do the old gravity bleed and you don't have to worry too much about getting the air out of the system. So
Joe Dimitro, you make sure you've taken notes down for Pete now, so then you can help with the bike maintenance and go from there. And
I hear a little bit of a whisper that Joe's got 2 bikes to service now.
Oh, 2? Is she riding? You going to come join the women's club?
No, not quite. Apparently Peter is returned back to his youth. And he's bought a black bike that makes a lot of noise.
Oh, what does that
So
mean?
if people who used to know Pete from back in his younger wild days, he used to have an old black Ducati.
Ooh.
But he hasn't quite got back to a Ducati.
No.
But it is black and it makes a lot of noise. But apparently he has to start it and idle it out, and he has to warm it up out in the road. So there, look out for the old Pete.
Oh,
So,
I'm sure we'll hear him come down the road.
Yeah, so so once you've done all your major servicing on your hydraulic system, and you've given up and set fire to the whole lot, and then gone back to playing Scrabble, then you go.
Then you're going to call Simon. Say help.
Yes, and of course, I mean, we can do anything that you don't want to do or you don't like doing. Then we're more than happy to do them for you. So if you are better at doing other things and not doing hydraulic systems or forks and things like that, then give us a shout. We're more than happy to service your bikes for them, no problems at all. But then I go to the easy stuff, like just changing your gearbox oil, changing your coolant, and then the other easy one everyone knows is servicing your carby. But and that's one we haven't done yet, which we really do that as part of our pre-event servicing. So that'll be coming up in the next couple of episodes. We'll be doing a carby service.
You know what you were going to talk about this week? Or was it this week or next week? You were going to talk about your toolkit.
Yeah, that is next week. Yep,
so
that is next week.
Toolkits and carburetors next week.
So basically next week, so we will jump to the end of what we normally do at the end of the show. And we can always reiterate again. But yeah, next week is basically pre-event preparation, which the carby and air fills and that sort of stuff comes into, and then also we'll be looking at the spares that you would generally take to a trial, and your toolkits and stuff like that, and that was requested by Paul Peacock.
Paul Peacock, that's right.
So no worries.
Well, I'm glad you remembered that.
No, I very rarely forget, and things that I forget are things that are not worth knowing. Okay. Apparently. Apparently.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's some wise words of wisdom from Uncle Arthur.
So so that's Uncle Arthur, all right. So there's just a quick recap on what you should have done by now, and you've still got time to do before the next seasons, because we've got basically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks to go to the next trial, and then we can get into it and have some fun.
Yeah, that's right, and that will only be you at that trial.
The
6th. Is it the
7th?
The 7th.
I think the Parthies
Yes.
first trial's the 7th.
Yes, that will just be you because...
So where are you going to be?
Well, because of the whole COVID situation, we're having to have a small wedding on the Thursday, and then we've got the reception party on the Saturday, which I don't think Neil and I will be in a very good headspace to ride the next day. So I think besides also packing up a reception, we'll also be nursing maybe a hangover or 2.
Ah, dear me. So it's all me.
It'll only be one. Won't be mine.
Okay, that'll be mine.
Oh, no. So I'm going to be all by my lonesome.
You are.
Ah, dearie me.
All by myself.
Oh, no. That's scary. So, Jess, what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? Well, besides trying to contain my excitableness over the parents arriving, I have been smashing out. I finished putting all the new 2021 Vertigos on the website.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And then I have literally just uploaded all the TRS, hang on.
Here we go. I'm testing you.
You're testing me.
This is a test for Jess.
The TRRS. The factory, the RR model. Yes. Yeah. I was thinking, does it have a 1 or does it not have a 1? And then, so we've got the electric starts as well as just your normal kickstart bikes on. And then I did the cross trainer, which is the TRRS X Track, which also comes in an electric start or a kickstart.
Yeah.
So they're all on the bike, and that cross trainer actually sounds pretty sweet considering it's a trials bike with an enduro seat on it.
Yeah.
And I took note. It's only 70 kilos, so it's only a fraction heavier than a trials bike.
Yeah.
So not that bad.
That TRX track is quite an exciting package for people who might be interested in having a bit of go at trials, but also likes to get out and do a bit of
a trail riding hard enduro and that sort of stuff. So you've kind of got that combination. So
what it is, it actually, Jess is right. It actually is a trials bike. So
I read the specs.
Yeah,
and I inputted them like how many times? So I do know. Don't test me on that because some of them I won't remember all the alphabets that go with the spark plugs and everything else.
Yeah. So the TRX track X-Track is quite an interesting package. It's the trials bike. It's based on the RR, which is basically your up spec factory version. It has a long range fuel tank and it has a long rider seat on it. And it's easily converted, and it comes with all the gear to be a trials bike as well. So it's apparently, I haven't done it physically myself because we haven't got one here in WA yet, but apparently you can easily change it back to a trials version.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that I think I was told about a half an hour to change it back.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So it's not a major job to do. And then you got yourself a trials bike, so you're going to have a mixture of both.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah,
and then the other one I put up was the TRS electric kids bikes.
Oh, yeah.
So the only one I got to put up is the 16-inch. So,
yes.
But other than that, they're all up
yeah.
there. And you've got there are some coming in soon.
There's one coming to WA at the moment, and there's things are pretty tight on the market all around on all brands. So there's only limited ones, but they've just landed in Australia now, so it's not too far away. But the interesting thing, check out the TRS electric 20-inch kids bike, because what TRS have done, they've actually put the electric motor in the frame. So those who are into their engineering and everything will understand, and I'm sure Neil can give you an ear bashing about suspension and stuff. And sprung weight and unsprung weight. So where the Ossets have got the electric motor sitting in the swinging arm, which is fantastic because you don't have a chain tensioner and arm to worry about and things like that. The TRS electric little kids bike has actually put the electric motor in the frame, so it's sprung so that it doesn't have much unsprung weight. So and it really does look the bit.
It is a bit. I actually not that. I'm biased now that I'm a TRS rider, but I got to say that they are pretty.
They look specky. Yes. Yeah, they look specky. So I'm really excited to see the little electric bike when it lands here in WA. We're planning to get more in, but it's a little bit of smash and grab at the moment.
Oh, it is.
So and I'll just give you a bit of a tip. Anyone that's looking to upgrade, you really need to plan ahead. And this doesn't only go with bikes. I'm finding it, and I'm sure anyone in any field at the moment.
Oh, everything's a struggle.
Everything's the same.
Even flowers.
Jesus,
don't even get me started on that one.
So a word of warning: if you do work on the fast food syndrome, then it's wise not to. If you think you might need something, then give us a shout. We try to maintain a good stock of all your operational stuff. But if there is something in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I really should get one, then it's a good idea to plan ahead, because some of my components, unfortunately, Mark Atherton has done a little bit of damage to his front suspension, and he's waiting on an item. And I've had it on back order now for nearly 2 months.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping it's not too far away for you, Mark. Is Mark on board?
He was on board. I heard him. He was on board earlier, but that's dependent on whether or not he's had to go back out into the field.
He's probably gone back to sleep. I mean,
well, that is true too.
Yeah. So don't leave things to the last minute. If you got an inkling you might need something, give us the heads up and that. So some great stuff, really exciting stuff happening with TRS. Gas as well. Gas 21s have landed in Australia.
Oh, awesome.
There's a couple of fantastic 2020 runouts, so there's some great bargains to be got there. There's only a couple left, but don't forget those. Beta, only a couple available. I think there's one 300 factory left in this current shipment.
Wow.
And then the next shipment due into Australia is June, and I don't think there'll be too many in there either. So the whole world's scrabbling for the supply, you know.
Oh, it's all right. Mark's still with us, and I've got the show next week. He's going to. I'm going. Hang on, let me read that again.
Yeah, go.
He's got a show next week. I'm doing with Bent Forks.
Oh no.
Oh.
Sorry, Mark. Well, it'd probably be better you do the show with Bent Forks, just in case you do too good a show. Yeah, so just I've got everything else in for you, mate. I'm just waiting for the left-hand leg, so we'll see how we go. Osset-wise, all the shipment that's just landed now is all gone, was well gone, and the next shipment into Australia is July, August. Yeah, So if you're interested in upgrading your little Osset, then that's the go there. And of course, as you said, the Vertigos.
You've got Vertigos, you've got Vandals. So it's actually kind of good these days. The choice. I mean, I've even seen Sherco now have an electric bike. So it's just.
That's right.
There's
some great range out there for people. We really are. We're a bit spoiled, particularly. I mean, in the trials scene, it's quite amazing. Neil often makes comment about the number of manufacturers in trials for such a small sport. It's a pretty competitive game. When you look at enduro and motocross, how many brands there are in those scenes, it's actually quite amazing. Yeah. So some big news. Unfortunately, you would have heard Facebook and stuff. The Australian Outdoor Trials Championship has been postponed for WA till 2022. So the Australian Outdoor 2021 Championship now is going to Brisbane, and well, not necessarily Brisbane, but to Queensland. So those who are pretty keen on the Australian Outdoor Championships, you've got yourself a trip to Queensland this year. So we
can go see the big pineapple and the big banana, and whatever else is big over there. Don't they do lots of big things?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So So we'll have to have a think about our plans for that. I haven't seen a date come out of the Queensland
No,
group.
because
Have
they
you?
don't issue dates.
Oh,
they issue
jeez.
dates.
Yeah.
Like, the dates. Like, you could eat a date or you could read a date. There's no dates.
Danger. Yeah. Don't you worry about minor details, Jess. The other news in Australian Championships is the X Trial. As most of you will know, Motor Dynamics is the promoter of the Australian X Trial Championships. We've had to make the decision to cancel 2021 with the COVID situation. Everything it's just too risky to try and run an event. And with the riders coming backwards and forwards between WA and New South Wales and everywhere, Victoria, Tassie. So
can't afford to have everyone go into quarantining and all that loss of time and money and everything.
So we're really disappointed to have made the decision. We've worked 5 years building up the X Trial Championships, and unfortunately COVID has kind of put a bit of a mocker on it for the last 2 years.
Yes.
So which is a shame, but we're looking at 2022 bigger and better, and we look forward to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go. No worries. What else we got news-wise? Oh, yeah. Osset Challenge?
Yes, that is coming up. So for all the kids out there, that's actually come up really
quick.
Fast.
Yeah, so for those who may not know, the Osset Challenge is a 3-event series run by the AJS Trials Club that Motor Dynamics sponsors. The first one is the 28th of February up at the AJS Park. A big shout out to everyone that helps out at that event. It really is fantastic. Normally what we do is we set the kids up, a couple of kids to 2 to 3 kids with each coach type of thing. It's not really a coaching session as such. They just a helper, and people put their time in to come out and help.
It's really
a great event.
Brilliant, and it's nice that it's just focused on the kids. They have such a hoot. They get a bit of training, and then after morning tea they can do a bit of a ride the sections if they want, or if they don't want, they go off and play with their mates on the tyres and whatever else they can get into mischief.
It's awesome.
And it's just a really good actually a family event.
It's a great event. Well, it's awesome for the kids to have a kids only event. And it really do. They really come to their own. And the mums and dads
can get involved and can learn a little bit more about it and the sport and everything like that. But no, it's fantastic, and it's good to be.
And I don't think that the kids will forget the last round last year up at the Pintos. So big shout out to the Pintos who have moved up to 2J. And the last event we had there, we had a little bit of a water fight after. Just a little bit of a water fight.
Well, depending on what the weather situation is, we might have to have another one.
Might have to try and plan one.
I don't know, next time maybe we just get the fires to come down and just shoot them with a hose.
Yeah, hey, now you're talking. So the Osset Challenge, 28th of February. The first Pathfinders event on the 7th of February, 7th of March.
I was going to say, Jesus, we missed that one.
We're going backwards, Jess. We're going anti-clockwise around the bike.
Oh, don't confuse me.
Yeah, and that's up at the Dave Thomas's up at 2J, Mangaroo Road, Marangarup Road in 2J. Look forward to catching up with the Thomases.
No, that's going to be a good event. It's sore to miss it, but I think my head will.
Yeah. We'll let you off seeing your wedding, ning.
Yes, wedding, ning.
Ning. And then the AJ first Twilight series on the 14th of March up at AJ's Park.
So, the Twilight is in the night time.
Yeah, no. But it's Twilight. Oh. It's in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, the morning Twilight Zone.
No, it's called the Twilight series, but it's in the morning, I believe. Yeah, so check your calendars and look forward to seeing you at some of those trials.
Yeah.
So that's about it, really. It was really just going to be an air bashing session today.
Which you did, because you've bashed them over the year for 35 minutes now, so I really
Have
think
I? Oh,
has
it been that long?
Yes. Time flies when you're listening to Simon.
There you go. Dearie me.
Cold.
Yeah. So, as we said, what are we doing the next show, Jess?
Oh, we are going to be talking about carburetors.
Carburetors.
And I can't remember exactly what we're fixing on it, but we're talking about something about carburetors and your toolkit and what spares you should have at the trial.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
See,
Look,
I listen.
yeah.
I'm learning.
No, you're doing a great job. Well, that's it from me.
Yep, and me.
And that's it from you.
And I think that's it from Neil.
I think
Yep,
so.
that's it from me.
Yeah, no worries, people. Well, welcome to 2021 trial season. It's about to start soon. Get your maintenance done, and we really.
And if you don't want to get your maintenance done, come see
Yeah,
us, and
we'll
Simon can get your maintenance done.
We'll
Put
do
him
it
to
for you.
work.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it; it's too dirty.
Actually, that's what we should do. I might get you working on Jess.
Actually, I was thinking that as well. It's like, oh, that actually might be interesting because then I'll learn how to, you know, what all the parts are. And then it's not just a thingy-bobbity.
No, thingy-bobbity. No, well, you're doing a fantastic job on the website.
Getting there slowly.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job. So, no, great, everyone. Really look forward to seeing you in the new trial season. I can't wait.
No, it's going to be a good one.
No worries.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao.
See you later. No, it's good stuff.
No, that was really good, actually.